Hello and welcome to Health Matters on Channels Television. Thanks for staying with us. I am Mary Alale Yusuf. Hepatitis is an inflammation of the liver which can be caused by any of several insults to the body, the most common being viruses. The 5 main hepatitis viruses are named by alphabets A to E. In Nigeria, the most common types, B and C, can cause both acute and chronic infections. By World Health Organization estimates, about 257 million people are living with hepatitis B infection worldwide, and in 2015, 887,000 died from its complications. Meanwhile, about 71 million people are living with hepatitis C. The WHO global targets for 2030 are 90% of people with hepatitis B or Hep B and Hep C infections should be tested, and 80% of eligible patients reached with treatment. My guest today is Dr. Cara Cookey from the Gastroenterology Unit at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now let's first ask, when we say inflammation, some people don't understand. What is an inflammation?
Okay, inflammation actually means like a swelling of any organ at all. So inflammation in the context of hepatitis means swelling of the liver.
The liver.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's what happens with the virus, just makes the liver to get bigger than it's supposed to be.
Yes, it makes it get bigger than it's supposed to be, and it actually has different phases in which it goes through.
Okay. Now, what are the different routes by which one can contract the hepatitis virus?
Okay, as you rightly said, the hepatitis virus, we have 5 of them: hepatitis A, B, C, D, E. So they are contracted through different means. Now, hepatitis A and E are mostly contracted through the fecal-oral route.
Just like polio?
Yes, and so the fecal-oral route is by contact when food or water is contaminated by feces from someone who already has the infection. So that's how hepatitis A and E are spread. Then B, C, and D are spread through blood, contact with infected blood or blood products, and sometimes through the sexual means too. Okay,
but blood and blood products is not so... Well, let me put it this way. It's not likely to get it through the hospitals anymore because of blood is screened now, isn't it? And they screen it for hepatitis as well.
Yes, it's screened for hepatitis B and C, yes.
When somebody has hepatitis, do they have symptoms? What are they like?
Yes, hepatitis actually comes with symptoms, but in more than 70% of cases, it could be asymptomatic, meaning that the patients would not present with any symptoms. And most times the symptoms can be nondescript. So patients could come down with symptoms like fever, which can occur in any other illness, fever, tiredness, nausea, vomiting, joint pains. Some may have skin rashes. And in about 20 to 30% of patients would then now have yellowness of the eyes and passage of dark colored urine.
But you said a great percentage of them don't have symptoms.
Yes.
So how does one know that they have hepatitis?
So that's actually a problem, because a lot of people usually start treating the common illnesses like malaria and typhoid, and most times, even whether you treat it or not, those symptoms would go away. But then in some people, they might now develop chronic inflammation.
Okay, so that's a problem. Now, people say hepatitis is 100 times more deadly than AIDS, and that is mind-blowing. Why do they say that?
Yes, the reason for saying that is because most times if blood from a HIV-infected patient usually cannot survive outside the body. So if it drops on an inanimate object like a table or a chair, within 10 to 30 minutes, HIV will die in that blood. But in the next 3 months, a blood from a hepatitis B positive patient can still be infectious.
Wow.
Yes.
So if an infected person maybe got himself cut with a knife, and the knife wasn't properly cleaned or anything, someone can come, cut himself with that same knife a week after, and get the virus.
Yes, yes, I'm getting it.
That means that they can get it from clippers.
Yes, you can get it from clippers and other sharp objects, unsterilized sharp objects, yes.
And you know, clippers, that would be dangerous because
yes,
you're not in charge of cleaning the clipper that is in the salon.
Yes.
Pedicure, manicure.
Yes, those are also roots.
Okay, let me just quickly ask you this, because lots of us do pedicure and manicure. What does a person do for such things, such instruments, to make sure they don't pass hepatitis B or C or whatever from the clipper to another client?
Yes. Well, number one, it's very, very important that for a client, you that is going to the salon to have your hair done or cut or your nails done, it's important you have your personal, needles or your personal grooming things. So, and that way, since you are the only one using it, you are very sure that it's not infected. And also to the people who are also rendering such services, should be trained to be careful